house! Well, kinda. We almost moved in the house! It's day 100 of being a homeowner, and we have started the process of finally moving into the house. Now, you may be wondering, why would it take 3 months to move in? Well, we had asbestos we had to take out down in the basement. We had 9x9 tile. We had to redo the roof because it had 5 layers of shingles on it. We did some major renovations in the living room, the bedrooms, and in the kitchen. Not to mention that we had some work to do in the garage. It was pretty filthy when we first got the house. In the comment section of all these videos, people have asked me over and over again, why did we get a house with so many problems? And the honest answer is, I knew how to fix them. I've been doing this work for almost 20 years, and I finally get to fix up a house that's mine? Oh, are you kidding me? Of course I'm gonna wanna do it. In recent years, I've been seeing a growing trend of homeowners telling folks online that owning a house is overrated, and that's a wild thing to tell somebody who doesn't own a house. I know we're gonna have people who don't like the green kitchen, the blue bedroom, the yellow living room, or they don't like the basement anymore, or whatever. I know we're gonna have people have their opinion, but here's the greatest thing. It's their opinion, but it's my fucking house. When you've been dealing with other people's problems for 20 years, you're pretty thankful when you have any problems at all. So, thank you. Remember, you're worth the time it takes to learn a new skill. Bye-bye, everybody. Go to the ER exactly one time.
Oh, shit.
And we had all the asbestos that was in the basement removed. I got half of my gutters up, but I still had to add the downspouts, and I gotta finish the other half. On day 55, we started doing the cabinets, and we are still not done with the cabinets. I still want to organize my entire garage before we start moving in about 2 weeks. I want to make sure we paint all the rooms that we want painted. I also want to make sure that I get my basement kind of ready with my indoor workshop that I really want. Because this was such a fixer-upper, we've been renting an apartment the entire time that we've had the house. So that lease is about up in the next 3 weeks. So we got to start moving everything over. So now this is when it's going to start getting even more busy. And we have a lot of loose ends to tie up before we actually make it official. But overall, it's been really good. It's been super exciting, and I'm overwhelmed, but I'm so happy about it. I'll see you in the next day of bye-bye. So I had to get some stitches at the ER. So I lost some blood, but I haven't lost a single rhinestone yet. This is why I believe in never doing plumbing at the 3 o'clock rule. When you're frustrated or when you are ready to go home, you shouldn't start a job because you're not going to take all the precautions that you're going to need to. So don't start plumbing after 3 p.m. Or in this case, don't try to rip off sheet metal when you're pissed off. So I was taking apart the flashing on my roof and it came back and it ripped my arm wide open. So now I'm going to the ER. And now I wait.
Hey Mercury, nail check.
Oh, there's my nails. That's where, this is like day 3, 6 hours in. I have less skin, but still the same amount of nails. I'm the trans handyman, and this is how you put the ridge cap on your roof. Let's go! First things first, your ridge cap covers up where the 2 sides of your roof meet at the peak. When you're capping your ridge, I like to start off by cutting off the tar part on the shingle and then laying that facing away from the roof itself like this. This is going to make for a really secure starting point, and then I can just put 2 nails into it and then I can start capping. I like to be overly cautious and add a ton of glue for the very first shingle to make sure it's going to hold nice and tight. I bend a little bit of the tar part so it's going to be curved over the cap, and then I'm just going to repeat that same pattern over and over again across the roof. Now you may be wondering, what direction do you layer all this? Well, you want to overlap in the direction of the wind. If the wind is coming this way, then I want to overlap that way so it can't get underneath it. And then when you get down to the other side, you're going to lay down the last one and then cut off the excess. And then you're going to want to finish up the same way you started by cutting off that tar side and then facing it away from the building. And that piece that you cut off is actually going to be the cap for all of it, and you're going to add in 4 nails and some glue like this. I like to cover up my nail holes by getting 2 pieces of shingles and rubbing them together like sandpaper so you get some of that debris off and cover it up. And then once you're all done, all you gotta do is clean up and you're good to go. And remember, you're worth the time it takes to learn a new skill. Hey everybody, did you miss me? I know it's been a little bit. We haven't done any of my day of videos of my new house, but I've been re-shingling my house for the last 8 days. We got a lot of footage of it, and it's been a huge project, a ginormous project. But here's some good news. I haven't lost a single rhinestone on either of my hands, and I've been shingling my whole house. So if you don't think you can have nice nails and do this work, you are so wrong. But also, I'm getting my nails done tomorrow, so that should be fun. Anyways, just wanted to check in and let you all know that I'm thinking about you, and I love you, and I hope I get to see you soon in the next couple of videos. Okay, bye-bye. Today we're going to clean my compost. Let's go! And today's day 38 of being a homeowner. And if you're like me, one of the biggest things you worry about in the future is climate change. And recently the RNC had a lot of lies they wanted to share with us. But the truth is, I don't think you need to be a scientist anymore to see and feel the effects of climate change all around us. I mean, we're seeing some of the warmest ocean temperatures to date, and not to mention that permafrost in Alaska is melting. Permafrost is melting! June was the 13th consecutive month on Earth where we were breaking a global heat record, and the 12th consecutive month of a global warming at or above at 2.7 degrees. Dangerous heat levels are rising in the US and across the globe, and while this is happening, Project 2025 aims to privatize the National Weather Service, making it harder for scientists to accurately link weather patterns to climate change. All this is not to forget that the US military is the largest institutional source of pollution in the world. So it's very important that our climate activism is also anti-war activism. Everything is connected. I care about my home, but what I care about the most is the planet we share. I'll see you tomorrow. It's raining outside right now, which is the perfect time to figure out if I fucked up the gutters or not. I mean, it's not running off the side like it was. I mean, that's real messed up, but you know, whatever. But now it's doing this. It's day 32 of being a homeowner, and even though it's really hard to think because Joe Biden just dropped out for re-election, but I still have work to do, so let's go do it. I was going to program the remote we got for our garage door opener because the previous one was broken before we moved in. However, the garage door opener is from 97? My garage door opener is older than Chapel Roan. I guess I'm going to Menards again. My spouse and a friend were in the kitchen to get ready for the renovations we're going to do, and I told Zizi, hey, I'm going to go to the hardware store, and they asked me for the second time to get them wood filler. So now I can't forget. It's a little notepad. It's nature's notepad. Hey, this is future Mercury, and I just want to let you all know I did in fact forget wood filler again. After I went to the hardware store and after I read their instructions 100 times, I finally figured it out. They call me Stardust, Mercury Stardust. And tomorrow a dumpster is coming, so I can start fixing that roof. So I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Day 30 of being a homeowner, and today I'm finally gonna get the internet. Or am I? I'm not the trans IT lady, folks. This cord is a liar. I'm gonna go down into the basement and try to figure out why that cord is not doing its job properly. But also, I did not install this light. This was here when I got here. You can tell. I would not have done this, okay? Stop giving me shit about it. So up in the ceiling, right there is where the cord is at. So we're gonna trace it back and figure out why it's not doing its job. Okay, it looks like right here, it's not actually connected to anything. But that's okay because I think I actually found a three-way. This cable splitter has one coming in and two coming out, so I'm gonna follow the black one first and see where it takes us. Okay, it looks like it goes into one of the bedrooms. And I found it, but it looks like someone snipped the tip. So I guess we're going to try to follow this other cable now. And it looks like it goes, that is an excess amount of cable. That has to be the one. Please work, please work, please work, please work, please work, please work. I found it, but they snipped it for absolutely no reason. I feel like whoever did this just wanted to snip the tip. And to be honest, me too. This setup makes absolutely no sense, but I will fix this. But for now, I have the internet. And yes, I took all the extra cable down so the next person doesn't have to worry about it. See you next time, everybody. This is gonna be so satisfying. Today I turned this into this. Welcome to day 23 of being a homeowner. The other day I was working on the gutters on the garage and I realized how disgusting the garage really looked. So I thought it was time to bust out the pressure washer and see what happens. And thankfully my partner Reese was in town, so we were able to tackle this together. The whole project took about 2.5 hours to complete. And because the garage was so filthy, we added a detergent to make sure we got all of it off. And while you enjoyed this very satisfying process, I want to talk about Atlas and his cat, Catless. Atlas was one of thousands of people that we were helping this year for the Gender Affirming Care Fund, and he has his surgery set for December 17th of this year. Thank you to the nearly 100,000 people in the last 2 years who have donated to this cause. We've been able to raise $4 million because of all your help. Now enjoy the rest of the video set to the old trans band Cat in the Hurricane. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Build homes with lions, but I still lay down with wolves. Never been this guarded, but I still hate to sleep alone. Maybe I could breathe better if you just take off my shirt. Second in smoke and rum.
Day 22 of being a homeowner, and I feel like I have cut grass so many times. So I think it's time to get a review on this electric lawnmower. This is an 18-volt Ryobi that I got from No Homo Depot that I paid $220 for. I'm going to judge this under 3 categories: durability, performance, and battery life. When it comes to durability, just remember this is a Ryobi and they have a very bad reputation when it comes to durability. And the outer shell is exactly what I thought it was going to be. The casing's fairly thin, the wheels are fine, but I do feel like they're going to break off at some point, and it's not something you're going to pass on to your kids. Now, it's super lightweight, which is not necessarily a bad thing. That could be really accessible for some people. However, the starter switch here gets a lot of bad reviews. So all that considered, for durability, we're going to give it a 6. When it comes to performance, I don't need it to be great. I just need it to get the job done, and I think it does that in spades. Now you can kind of see that it's a choppier cut, which means you might need more overlapping, but I don't really care about perfection, so I'm okay with it. So I think for the price, it does a pretty good job. So for performance, I'm going to give it a 7. Now it's time for the category that everyone wants to know about: battery life. How is it? My 6 amp battery just died after about an hour and a half and about a half an acre of grass. So I'm going to switch over to my 4 amp right now and finish the job. If you're already in the Ryobi family, I think that everything about this lawnmower gets a whole lot better because you already have the necessary batteries. You're not going to have to spoon out more money in order to make sure this could actually do its job. If you got 3 or more 4 amps, you're going to be just fine. So for me, the battery life is going to get about a 7. So overall, it gets a 6.7, and I think that's pretty good for any yard that's under half acre. So for residential use, this is good to go. For commercial use, I would never ever trust this. So see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. I've been so afraid to show you when I mess up. Yesterday, I put my ladder somewhere I shouldn't have yesterday while I was working on my gutters, and it cracked it. I quickly realized what I did, and you can see the hamster in my head turning right now. It would be so easy to gloss over this mistake and not show you. But this is day 20 of being a homeowner. And a part of being a homeowner is realizing you made a mistake and that you have to have a creative solution. So I took some of that scrap wood that I got from that closet the other day and I put it inside the gutter for extra support. So I repositioned that ladder, climbed on top of that roof, and then pulled up the gutter where it was falling down. Now this is by no means a permanent fix. This is just for a short while so I could actually finish cleaning my gutters. And I have a limited time and budget to be able to do all these projects every day. So making the 200th trip to the hardware store since I got the house was not in the books for that day. Also make sure that every time that you clean your gutters that you're flushing out your downspout either with a hose or a bucket of water. And as far as showing my mistakes goes, I've been so afraid to show them, I think partially because I'm a trans woman. Like being a woman on the internet is already hard. Like people are already going to talk down to me no matter how many years of experience I have. But you add the extra layer of being a trans person and it just compounds on itself. I feel like I have to have superhuman levels of competence in order to be able to be taken seriously in my job. But I think that's silly because all of us make mistakes, but not all of us are willing to show that to millions of people. But I am, and I think that says a lot. I'll see you tomorrow. Day 18 of being a homeowner, and let's talk about asbestos. This is 9x9 tile, and 99% of the time, that means that it is asbestos. If none of this was broken behind me, I probably would just encapsulate it. However, it's broken. There are a whole bunch of pieces down here that are not great. A lot of people think that we just stopped using asbestos altogether, but that's not true. It's still in joint compound, linoleum, and so many other products. Tile will often crumble when you're trying to remove it, which means you get a more asbestos in the air, so that's why I'm having a professional remove it for me. We got 2 contractors to come and take a look and give us a quote. We're going with the one that's not just $1,400 cheaper, but it also had a way better, more detailed quote, where this one was really loosey-goosey with what they were doing and how much square footage we had down there to remove. This one gave exact square footage and came with a shit ton of great references. I also spent the day trying to salvage all that wood from the closet I took apart yesterday, and I think I might end up using it for the catio I'm going to build. And my spouse mouse put these on all the walls so we could have an idea of what it might look like. And they keep asking me about my opinion, and honestly, I just want to break things and then fix things, so I don't have an opinion. So that's day 18. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Today, we're troll hunting. We're also taking all this apart because it's on top of asbestos and we're getting that removed. Now, I don't abide by patriarchal bull crappery, but because the trolls do, I'm going to embrace it for one video and one video only to prove a point. They use masculine language in order to put me down, and it's like, yeah, I could beat your ass if I was still getting paid to do stuff like that. These are the same men who are like, you're so disgusting, you're a freak, who would want to be with you? I'm not for you. I'm not for you. I'm not for you. I'm a T for T kind of girly. I want to be with someone who understands my emotions, understands how I walk through the world, and really knows how to the shit out of me. You don't even know how to bone the one gender that you're attracted to, so why would I want to be with you? None of those jokes seem funny to you. That's exactly how your jokes sound to me. Truth is, those jokes don't really do anything. All it does is make yourself feel better for about 1 second until you start scrolling again. At one point in time, trolling made you feel something and gave you a rise, but now it doesn't even do that. But you keep doing it because you built a community around it. So now you feel like you have to keep doing it, even though it doesn't make you feel anything anymore. And if you stop, you fear that you won't have anybody because you spent all this time connecting with people who don't even care about you. Or I could be absolutely wrong and you could be perfectly fine. And that's actually even sadder. See you tomorrow. I don't hate the previous owner. I really don't. I know so many people think I should. I don't hate them for covering up the hardwood floor with carpet. I don't hate them from not knowing they had a gas leak. This sucks. I don't hate them for having asbestos in a basement, or a roof that's in shambles, or gutters that are falling apart, or an air conditioner that does not work. Previous owner died of cancer in the late 70s after battling it for 2 years. They had other priorities. I built an entire platform built on the idea that I'm helping strangers with their home because the system failed them. Who am I to now feel differently and change my values, all because it's affected me directly? Yes, I'm frustrated, but I'm not mad at the previous owner. I'm frustrated by the system that's failed so many people. Just like it's failing all the people who are in Gaza right now. And yeah, this video is about that. On 4th of July, who would have thought? If you want to help right now, you can by supporting the Gaza Food Program or the Cairo and Gaza Mutual Aid Fund. Because at the end of the day, planet Earth is just one big house, and we're all just a bunch of roommates who have to work together to solve the problems that are right in front of us. Because if we don't, all we're doing is passing the buck to the next person who moves in. And we don't want to be them. We're going to try the best we can to fix what we can while we're here. See you tomorrow. So the gas company had to come today and turn off all the gas to my house, and now I got to get yet another contractor to come out to fix it before I can turn it back on. Welcome to day 15 of being a homeowner.
Oh God, this sucks.
And yeah, that was a professional saying this sucks because there isn't a unit on this, so you can't isolate the gas and do this easily. It's tricky. There is some positive though, because we checked everything else and nothing else was leaking, so it's just this one location. Now, I know I could fix this gas leak. I know that I could do this, but here's the problem. Everything in this house was cobbled together, and I don't want it to be continuously cobbled together. I want people to come in and do it exactly the way that it needs to be done so we can write the ship. Now, don't get me wrong. I know I'm absolutely lucky to have a house, and I'm so grateful for that, but I had to jump through hoops to get this house, and I had to waive a home inspection to even have a shot at this house. So I'm a little bit pissed off right now. But on a complete side note, I also had time to cut the grass today, so I guess that was positive. And I know this is just a moment in time. I know so many of you are going to watch this video and be like, Mercury, take a deep breath. Honey, I am a professional. I know more than most people who have a home for the first time what it takes. But here's the thing. I know there's a lot of people who get a home for the first time who don't know any of this stuff, and they feel way more lost than I do. So if you're watching this video and you're one of those people, hey, my heart goes out to you. You're not alone. I send you all my love. I'll see you tomorrow. Day of being a homeowner or something. I think it's day 14, but I was at VidCon for the last 6 days, so I don't know. Here's a clip from VidCon. The audio is really bad, but what I'm saying is I fixed drywall and I talk about hate speech. And the whole time I was gone, I kept thinking about my fucking gutters. So when I finally got home, boy, was I happy I got to get my hands dirty again. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love being a content creator, but I've been waiting my entire life to have a house. And this makes me too fucking excited. There's something so truly beautiful and remarkable about being on top of your roof and knowing that you can just be yourself. Sometimes I want to roll. Sometimes I want to bend back. And sometimes I want to boom. There's a tree growing on my roof. Dude, I don't think this is supposed to happen. Everything's a hammer. Well, that was day 14. Tune in tomorrow when we do more stuff or something. It takes a lot longer than the shot's supposed to. I hope I just do this. I did it! It's day 7 of being a homeowner, and today we met with a home inspector. The market is so competitive that we had to waive our home inspection in order to be able to acquire the house. And good news, out of the 110 pages of the report, very little was a surprise. But the home inspection is still so important because it helps direct and prioritize what you need to do first. And I'm still pulling up trim because we're trying to salvage as much of it as possible, and it's taking forever. And to make sure we get the trim back where we want it to go, I'm labeling the wall and the trim. Now, if I look really sad here, it's because I'm listening to an audiobook. Yeah, I killed it! Yeah, I killed it! And I got really into it. Now, this vinyl was covering up the wood floor for about 50 years, and I was pretty convinced it was not going to look good, but we're going to be able to salvage it, and that makes me so happy. Also, side note, Kyle from Madison Home Inspection was absolutely delightful. You never know what you're going to get in this industry as a trans woman, and he was super sweet and was kind to me the whole time. And like I said before, there's only a few things that he showed me that I did not know, but it was nice to get the confirmation of things I was really nervous about. This crack may look scary, but because it's not horizontal, it's actually not that big of a deal. There's a minor gas leak, but we don't mess around with that, so we're going to get that fixed soon. And the flashing around the vents is basically all gone, so we're going to need to address that when we redo the roof. Also, Mike's boss made fun of me because the very first thing I got for the house was this pizza cooker, and when Zizi asked me why, I said, well, when you save big money at Menards. Bye everybody, see you tomorrow! Day 6 of being a homeowner, and today's lawn care day. But before I get told the fun stuff, I have to put everything together first. which was not nearly as fun. But then I saw that there was a QR code in the instruction manual, and that made me so happy. So I tried it, and it said page not found. You know what does have QR codes? My book, Safe and Sound, a renter's friendly guide to home repair, available right now at MercuryStardust.com. Back to the program. I gotta finally put together to only realize I was missing 3 screws, so now I gotta perform the cardboard tango. Only to find out they were under the hood the whole time. Ryobi, you know what you did. I mean, it makes sense. You gotta be kidding me. Note to self, never do a bit when you hold tiny screws. And finally, we could do some lawn care. We prefer moss over grass, but it's too late in the season, so that's going to be next year. Now, before I get to the lawnmower, I always like using the string trimmer in order to get real close to stuff first, and then I can come in with a lawnmower. Now, this is the first thing I've ever owned from Ryobi. However, I really like the wide catalog and the fact they're cheaper, and as a new homeowner, you can't beat that. But in the professional sense, I'm always going to prefer Milwaukee. Now, my pa taught me this trick, but when you are going north to south with your lawn, make sure that every 3 times you switch it up to going west to east, because then you can blend the lines in better. And after about an hour or so, I was all done. So that was day 6. I'll see you on day 7, and hopefully it keeps on going good. This was the moment we found out we got the house. And 30 days later, we officially became homeowners for the first time. And today is day 5 of owning a house, but none of that could be possible if it wasn't for this. Hey there. Hi. My name is Mercury. I'm the trans maintenance lady. 3 years ago, I got in my car and made the very first trans handyman video.
I'm going to show you how to do it yourself. Okay, let's go.
I had no way of knowing that this was going to change my life forever. But just 3 months later, I told you all I quit my job and started doing this full time. And then 6 months after that, I used my platform for the very first time to raise $100,000 for gender affirming care. And in that moment, I had no idea that I was going to be able to raise $4 million with my best friend Jory in just 2 more years. We've helped raise over $150,000 to help other people fix up their homes. We've raised over $100,000 to get a mirror out of Palestine. We went on the largest book tour last year in North America at 54 cities, and all of them were independent bookstores. And I'm also a #1 New York Times bestselling author. But 3 years ago, I was a maintenance technician that didn't do any of this. And now we're here. I have no idea how this happened, but this is day 5, week 1 of being a homeowner. So thank you. Thanks, everybody. Someone should definitely fix this gutter. Oh, that's right. I'm the somebody. Welcome to day 4 of being a homeowner. Today I spend most of the day signing books in order to pay for the house I just bought. Not every day can be a renovation day. I wish it was, but it can't be. Also, I got my hair done today. And then when I got to the house, I wanted to check all the shut-off valves at the toilet, underneath the bathroom, and in the kitchen. Don't forget to check the main water shut-off either. If you have a basement, it may be coming through the foundation and then right where the water meter is. If you have a water softener, make sure you check the levels. And don't forget to check the air filter. Mine is an expensive one, but that's okay. We're going to replace the furnace anyways. And eventually, I'm going to go through the electrical box and make sure everything is labeled correctly. So when I'm in a panic, I don't have to think. I can just look and go. That's what you want. When I was an emergency technician, one of the most common calls I was getting was from homeowners who had lived there for less than 30 days. They don't know where the shutoffs are, they don't know where all this stuff is, and they are in pure panic. And when you're panicking, you can't think. One of the reasons why they had so many of these problems is because when things sit for a while, and then all of a sudden they're turned back on, that's when things can go wrong. So it's better to be safe than sorry. I'm going to leave you today with the weirdest thing in the whole house. Well, besides the bookshelf that's upside down behind me. I don't know, and I don't want to know. Remember, you're worth the time it takes to learn a new skill. See you tomorrow. I think this carpet has seen better days. Well, good news. There's hardwood floor underneath, so it's carpet ripping time. Let's go! First thing you're going to want to do is start with taking off the transitions. But don't worry, I got a lot of experience with transitions. That was a trans joke. This was day 3 of being a homeowner, and boy, was it a big day. I met with my 3rd contractor today about the asbestos I want to remove. And I ended up removing this disgusting thing from the basement wall. I do not know what it is. I think it's a grinder or a hash stripper, whatever it is. It was in this plastic bag when we moved in. I have no idea what it is, but it is not staying. I ended up having to cut it off, but also look at how mad I look. Yeah! The previous owner was an elderly woman who had mobility problems, so that's why all the floor had so much padding underneath. And it was obvious that this carpet was put down temporarily because it wasn't really held down that much at all. And it took me a pretty long time to clean this all up, but that's when I realized I need to fix that AC. Owning a house is like generational trauma. You're always paying for other people's decisions. See you tomorrow. Day 2 of being a homeowner, and I am so stressed out. I just found out that this tile definitely contains asbestos. Because the tile is 9x9 and it's from the 1960s, I was almost guaranteeing it was going to have asbestos in it, and guess what? I was right. And then a neighbor just came over and said that he's lived here for 32 years and he's never seen anybody fix the roof above us. And that was kind of what I was suspecting. So yeah, this roof might be older than 30 plus years. And as you can see, I already knew there was 3 layers of shingles, which mean there could be rot and it could be too heavy for the roof. This is the second day. I'm a professional, and why does it feel like I just got kicked in the stomach? I did go up into the attic today though to see what it actually looked like during a rainstorm. And to my surprise, even though it's 30 years old, I didn't see any rotting or any type of mold growing, but I did see a chimney that was definitely having some leakage and some old water damage. On a lighter note, I was able to establish a workspace while I'm doing all the renovations we're planning. And lastly, I also changed out all the doorknobs and locks today. And then after work, Zizi came to help me out, but we also shared a laugh or two. And everything just felt a little bit better. We did it! We finally got a house, y'all! Day 1 of being a homeowner! We did all the paperwork later in the day, so we didn't do much other than just doing a punch list to all the things we want to do. I'm too sharp! While I was inside, Zizi was outside taking care of some of our plants. To be honest, the first day of homeownership just felt like we were soaking up the fact that this was actually ours. We were laughing a lot and discovering new things.
We got a bonus little mini watering can.
I did go on top of the roof to make sure we didn't have any immediate problems. And besides missing just a few shingles, the roof does actually look pretty good for being a 20-plus-year-old roof. And this is my biggest problem. I'm pretty sure this is all asbestos, but we're gonna find out after we get it tested. Also, this is my HVAC, otherwise known as my problem. Here's my new tool shop. Look at this! I got an old vise! I got an old work table! I'm in love! Zizi and I have been looking for a place to live for almost an entire year, and it's been really frustrating and very tiring, and trying to find a space affordable is super hard, but we did it. And we know it needs a lot of love, but I got plenty of love to share and I'm ready to do it. And being a homeowner for the first time is terrifying, but I have the skills, I have the brain, and I have the support. So I'm going to show you what it's like to be a homeowner for the first year. And this was day 1. Oh my God, we did it, y'all!